Hello and welcome to Chronically Cozy Business Chats. I'm Randy, your cozy business bestie. I'm a low energy business and content strategist, writer, and the founder of the Chronically Cozy Creators Club and Business Directory. I'm here to help you build a business that actually respects your energy limits. This podcast is a cozy space to talk about what it looks like to do business differently through honest chats with other chronically ill and neurodivergent entrepreneurs who are already out there doing the thing, and some solo episodes with yours truly where I share lessons from my 9+ years in building a business with chronic illness and ADHD. So make sure your coffee is hot, get cozy, and let's chat. Hey besties, Happy New Year and congrats on surviving 2025. I know that it was a rough one for a lot of you and you should be proud if you survived it, especially if your business made it through as well. For me, last year was kind of a wild one. I posted a full recap of everything that happened in the last season. If you want to check it out, nothing went according to plan, but I think it kind of turned out better than I had expected. I started last year looking for a more traditional job, but I needed something that I could do from home. My body and brain were never made for capitalism, and I'm not really trying to put myself in the ground early. Unfortunately, after sifting through a billion job postings that asked for more than one person could give and offering less than a person could live on, I had to decide that freelancing and starting my own business would be the right move. I have built my own business before. I started off my entrepreneurship journey as a virtual personal trainer, which I had to close because of my changing health. But now I know what I'm doing, and I have learned a lot of tricks for making it work for my body and brain. So now, as a cozy business and content marketing strategist, I help other chronically ill and neurodivergent entrepreneurs build their own cozy, sustainable businesses that won't flare them up and burn them out. So, in today's podcast, I'm going to tell you all the basics of how I'm building my business this year to be easy to run and sustainable, and how you can too. Now, of course, we're all going to be a little bit different, and this is what works for me. If you need help with what works for you, let's chat. Personally, my biggest struggles are the bone-deep fatigue that comes with being constantly sick and in pain, and my ADHD brain wanting to do a billion things, but only if it gets to be done a very certain way. Gotta love the spicy combo. This year, I did get connected with a few new doctors, and I started a few meds that are supposed to help, and they kind of have been as much as they can. I just got put onto ADHD meds, and we're still waiting to see how that turns out. But obviously, all the meds and the health protocols are just a small part of managing everything we deal with as spoonies. Building a real sustainable business while living with chronic illness and a neurodivergent brain comes down to your mindset and the systems you set up. Traditional business advice doesn't account for fluctuating energy, pain days, brain fog, or executive dysfunction, which is why we need to change the way we approach it all. The mindset shift was the hardest part, really. It takes a lot of work and determination to try and change your own mind. This, for me, started with prioritizing my health over daily productivity. For me, this looks like working less hours, mixing in self-care, and making rest part of my strategy. With malfunctioning bodies and brains, we need to move slower and prioritize sustainability over speed. Honestly, I know this sucks. I know most of the advice I have to give is frustrating and no fun, but I have seen way too many people burn out because they tried to hustle through building their businesses. Remember, slow growth is still growth. To make slowing down possible, I had to redefine consistency and step back from social media, which I bet is not the advice that you thought you'd be getting here. Traditional advice tells you to show up constantly and everywhere, and frankly, that is exhausting. But socials are not converting into sales anymore, which is not your fault. It's by their design. Places like Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and all the other apps, they're made to keep you there and scrolling, and your content is short-lived. It's visible for 24 to 48 hours max, and not even promised to show up on the feeds of the people that follow you. Remember, consistently does not have to mean constantly. It means showing up at a pace that you can keep going, not on your best days, but on the kind of days that you normally have. Plan for what works at your baseline. This also means learning to work with your energy instead of against it. So recently, I've been getting more in tune with my energy and focus patterns and planning to fit tasks into my life instead of pushing myself to do something that I don't really feel up to doing. For me, this looks like planning high energy and creative tasks in the morning when I'm more focused, and leaving the boring admin stuff for later when I can lay back and half-ass it. I also plan ahead for flares, and I know that that's not always easy. You don't always know when they're gonna hit, but sometimes you do know that you're gonna be really busy, or you have holidays coming up, and you can probably guess that you're gonna need a little extra recovery time. So make sure you're building that into your schedule. When I know that I might have lower energy, I make plans to refresh, reuse, and repurpose older pieces of content so that I don't have to give my all to content creation, and I can focus my tasks on things that actually make me money. After making these small shifts, I started to look into how I could show up and where I should be putting my attention, because it wasn't social media. And I decided that what I needed was a community. Creating community over audience is my motto this year. I'm here to connect with people, not perform for them. First of all, having people that understand what you're going through can confirm that you are indeed not going crazy helps so much. Before I got my ADHD diagnosis, which I hadn't originally planned on trying for because I didn't think I wanted to deal with any more gaslighting, I often referred to myself as peer-reviewed, mostly because we neurodivergent people tend to find each other and connect like no one else can. It was far more validating for me than the 20 question test my doctor gave me. What does she even know? So when I did make time for social media, I started talking more about personal stuff, which again, I know is not everyone's favorite thing to do. But this led me to finding people that actually got me and wanted to connect and follow what I was doing. People are very tired of being sold to, which for sure makes being a business owner difficult, but like always, we can learn to adapt. When I prioritized creating community over an audience, I felt less pressure to perform and show up constantly, and I felt way more supported. Then I took that community off of socials. My little community, the Chronically Cozy Creators Club, is free to join and always will be. Everyone told me to make it a membership thing, but I really didn't want to create another hurdle for chronically ill and neurodivergent people. And I don't think that community should be behind a paywall. Our group, if you want to join us, is hosted on Discord. I chose that platform because it was pretty easy to learn and to organize all the different topics that I wanted to talk about. Everyone is able to easily chat and share, but it's fairly quiet and low pressure. When you join, you can post links to your services, your website, shop, and products, and I think that's a bit different from most communities. But I also felt like most of us are marketing to other people like us, so having a place to do that a little bit more directly felt very beneficial. Also the reason I started my directory, but that's for another conversation. You can also post links to your content, like your blogs, your YouTube videos, and your podcasts. And I love seeing what everyone's creating, so this is my favorite part of it all. There are also a lot of places to chat, ask for support, and create accountability and cheer each other on. We even have a thread for people to ask about and share any of the accommodations that they're making for themselves. I make no participation demands on my members. All my services, my coaching, my products, and my club are created to be a safe space where you don't have to feel the push to engage and be on all the time. You can show up, chat, and share if you want, or lurk if you need to. You can take your time to feel comfortable and know that you're in a place that feels right for you. So with my mindset shifted and my community to support me, I started putting the rest of my energy into creating cozy and sustainable systems. I am marketing my services as a content and business strategist, also my digital products and my club and my directory. These are the lowest effort business models that worked for what I was doing. Choosing a business model that works for you and your body is really important. These options gave me flexibility in my schedule, minimal need to be up and present, and the ability to work from bed or couch when I need to. After choosing the business model that I wanted to focus on, I made sure to simplify even further. I did this by getting really clear on what it is that I offer, which, by the way, is not the same as niching down. because I know that that is a struggle for a lot of us neurospicy folk. And if you want to learn more about my approach to that, I do have a blog for it. I also focused on creating content that is reusable and repurposable, choosing platforms that are easy to maintain even during a flare. And speaking of content, because that's what I do, when done the right way, content marketing can be the best way to connect with your clients, build trust, and sell your products and services without directly selling and feeling all icky. Content options like blogs, video, podcasts, and socials, which we already talked about why we are not prioritizing, but it's still there. Your content can help your followers and potential clients get to know you and trust you, which leads them to more likely hiring you or buying from you. Take this podcast, for example. I'm not here to try and directly sell to you. There's not going to be a pitch at the end, I promise. Maybe a little call to action, a come join us and learn more, but in like a gentle way, and by first giving you a lot of help and value. The intention here is for you to get to know me, my process, and my philosophy, so that you can decide if we might be a good fit and if you want to work for me. Starting this podcast kind of happened on a whim, and I am loving it. Podcasting is pretty easy and low-key way to create content, and your podcast can be easily repurposed. I use Riverside to record everything, and this helps a lot. However, my main content focus is blogging, which I know a lot of you people probably think that that's old news, but I think it's making a comeback. So many people are overwhelmed with all the noise in the video, and they're looking for real value and connection. The best thing, though, about blogs over all the other options is that it is a very low energy way to create content, and it can be evergreen. Evergreen content is content that doesn't expire. It stays relevant for weeks, months, or even years after you publish it. So no more trend chasing. Evergreen content should answer the questions that people are asking over and over, teach something foundational, and it can still make sense if someone finds it like 6 months from now. So this is like things like how-to guides, educational posts, resource lists, case studies, client success stories, things like that that are always going to be relevant to your business. Blogs and evergreen content is cozy business gold. You can create it once and reuse it forever. I personally can turn like one blog post into like a month's worth of content. It works even when you're resting, sick, or offline, and it reduces fatigue because you don't have to show up nearly as often. I currently have one blog that I wrote at the beginning of last year that is bringing in up to 2,000 new views a month. I have done nothing to promote it recently, no social media posts, and no post has ever done that. I do get a lot of my visitors from Pinterest, which is another app that I'm sure a lot of people think is old news, but it is consistently the best performer. If writing is not really your jam, podcasts and YouTube videos are still great, and they are a lot of fun to create, and they also can be posted to your blog and give you the same benefits. And if you want to learn more about doing that, I'm definitely going to be doing a podcast on it soon, and it's a service that I offer. Of course, to have a blog, you need to have a place to post it, which brings me to my next important piece of advice. Build your own website. So important. Having your own space gives people a place to come and be immersed in you and your business. It's all yours. You can post what you want, when you want, and you're not really restricted by a lot of the other things. A lot of people have probably built their businesses on Etsy and through other platforms, and maybe you've noticed that it's gotten a little harder to be seen there lately. I've heard a lot of reports of AI slop taking up space, algorithms prioritizing bigger businesses and drop shippers, and then of course you have the CEOs who are not really exemplifying the values that they built their platforms on. Building your own website has become a lot easier too. With super simple platforms and drag and drop builders, you don't even need to know code anymore. I built my website on WordPress, hosted through SiteGround, and while that is commonly the more complicated option, it wasn't as hard as I expected it to be, and it's super scalable. I use WooCommerce for my shop for all my digital products, which was super easy to set up, and recently I even gave my whole website a makeover and built a really cool directory that features chronically ill and neurodivergent businesses of all types. There will be a link in the description to check it out and add yours. Now, I know I chose the more complicated option, but also the tech of it all is kind of a special interest of mine. So if you are not very technologically inclined, it may not be the right move for you. But again, there are so many options. Whichever option you choose, you'll want to learn the basics of SEO, which is search engine optimization. Another boring business thing that is so annoyingly important. When your site has been search engine optimized, you are more likely to show up on the first page of Google, where people are actually looking for answers to their problems. SEO is a little complicated, but not really. It's just a set of rules and best practices to follow for your pages and posts. If you get it, it'll benefit you for a long time. The basic rules of SEO haven't changed in a while, and it can be applied to all types of content you create. Now, after building a website, I highly recommend starting an email list. Like how your website is all yours and you own it, you don't have to compete with an algorithm. I'm using MailerLite to build my list, and so far it's been very beginner friendly and affordable. To get people to sign up to your list, you can offer something free and helpful like a guide or a checklist. I have actually chosen not to create a free opt-in product because the Creators Club is the opt-in prize, which has been working way better for me than any checklist I could have ever created. So, get creative with it. Find something that actually connects with your people that they feel it's going to be worth giving an email address for. Now, none of these platforms require you to show up daily. You can post once a week or once a month and still benefit from them. As for your socials, because I know a lot of you are looking for ways to make it work and not wanting to give up what you've built there, the best way to simplify is to focus on creating the type of posts you actually like to make, and be sure that you have a clear bio that tells people who you are, what you're doing, and what you're selling, along with easy to follow links that take them directly to your offers. I can't tell you how many times I've had to go search for this, and I'm not going to search for it very long. Make it easy to connect with you. People are lazy, and they're probably not going to work that hard to spend their money. You know it's true because you've probably done the same. And that's the basics. Shift your mindset, redefine what you think it looks like to be an entrepreneur, prioritize your health and work to fit your business into your life, not your life around your business. Slow down, don't rush it, and respect your own limits. Slow growth is still growth. Build a website with a blog and start an email list. These are the lowest effort and highest converting platform options. If you choose to start something like a YouTube channel or a podcast instead, you can repurpose those into blogs, and you really should. I can show you how. Also, while you're at it, get a basic understanding of SEO, because this will guarantee more consistent views when you're resting. Deprioritize socials. You can still show up there, but it shouldn't be your main focus. And when you do, be social. Chat with people, like their posts, follow others you like, and get engaged. This is not going to be the place for selling anymore, but it is going to be a great place to make friends. And since you're there, make sure that you optimize your profile to drive more people to your shop and other content. Now, those are the main points that I teach all of my clients, and the way that I am creating a more sustainable and cozy business for myself that is no longer going to lead me to constant flare-ups and burning out. I really hope this advice helps, and if it did and you're looking for more, you can of course visit my website, where you'll find details on me, my services, and all of my helpful resources created for people with limited energy. And I have a lot of fun things planned for this year, and also so many cool creators that are going to be joining me here on the podcast to share their stories and experiences building a business with chronic illness or neurodivergent brain. So please make sure you subscribe, follow, like, and do all those good things. If you want to join the club, you can find all the links in the description. Sign up and you will find the Discord link in the first email, and you'll get all the good stuff straight to your inbox. Now, that's me done for the day. So, go rest so that you can get up later and build your cozy empire and take over the world. I mean, make a livable wage. I don't know which one's more likely these days, but either way, remember that you don't have to do it alone. We're here for you. Stay cozy, besties, and I will see you next week. Bye!